after the having the origin of entrepreneurial school in economics, now we try to understand the literature on entrepreneurial school. Entrepreneurship was originally associated with the creators of their own businesses. The word was gradually extended to describe various forms of personalized, proactive, single-minded leadership in organizations. Actually, entrepreneurship is classically identified only with those who used to start a venture, maybe an independent venture or venture under the control or supervision of the authority. But later on, it was identified that the spirit of entrepreneurship is not only restricted to those who start their independent businesses, but there are also individuals in the existing organizations who have almost a similar spirit and they function in the similar fashion. What do I mean by they function in the similar fashion? They function in the similar fashion, I mean to say that they have the ability to introduce many new things. You see that even in the established organizations, especially in the large scale organizations, we find out that every other day new products are introduced. If introducing something new is a criteria to be an entrepreneur, then those who are doing it within the frame of an existing organization should also be considered as entrepreneurs, because they also have the entrepreneurial spirit. So it was considered that those who introduce new things or who function as entrepreneurs function in the domain of an existing organization, they will be termed as intrapreneurs. If you focus on what I have just described, read before you, that the word was gradually extended to describe various forms of personalized, proactive, single-minded leadership in organizations. Now this word has got its extension to many fields. You find out entrepreneurial teachers, entrepreneurial politicians, entrepreneurial writers, entrepreneurial actors, all those who are having entrepreneurial as a prefix with their name. This is to identify that these are those people who demonstrate the entrepreneurial spirit. And with the advancement of literature, when actually literature of the entrepreneurship was accepted and furthered by the management scholars, especially coming from the background of psychology, the focus of entrepreneur as an economic agent was shifted to the personality of the entrepreneur. And it was argued and it was believed that entrepreneurs are those people who have got unique personality. And this advancement of literature also gave rise to the debate, that the debate which also existed in the domain of leadership, that are entrepreneurs born or can they be made? Initially, there was a bulk of literature supporting this very position that entrepreneurs are actually special creatures and they are born, they cannot be made. And a number of case studies of the entrepreneurs were put forward in support of this position. But with the passage of time, the other school also emerged which challenged the notion and put forward their own argument that not only entrepreneurs are born, but they can also be made. This debate actually invited a lot of discussion on the personality of the entrepreneur, that they are the people who have got this special personality. There was a scholar coming from the background of psychology known as Richard McClelland, who actually wrote on the entrepreneurial personality. And it was believed that entrepreneurs are those who are different from other people or the common people on the scale of need for achievement. And entrepreneurs are those whose need for achievement is high. And this particular discussion in the literature led the things to the phenomena known as the great leader in the popular press. The different press, different publication houses started focusing the different personalities, entrepreneurial personalities, and started writing on them. And a wave spread everywhere that entrepreneurs are of great personalities and they are special creatures. This whole discussion actually revolved around the personality of the entrepreneur. And if you go through the literature of the entrepreneurship, you would find out more than 50% written on the personality of the entrepreneurs. Now here are some of the extracts from the book of the Henry Mintzberg Strategy Safari, just to make things clear that who entrepreneurs are. What sets them apart, the entrepreneurs, is that during this time of role deterioration, they interwove their dilemmas into the projection of a business. In moments of crisis, they did not seek a situation of security. They went on into deeper insecurity. This describes that actually all those people who become entrepreneur, most of them have a disturbance in their life sometimes. And actually they use the disturbance in their life, they make it an opportunity, and they enter into the world of entrepreneurship. And there are a number of examples of those people who actually had the problems. Even in case of Steve Jobs, it is reported that he was not successful in his formal education. That actually led him to be an entrepreneur. And there are many more examples of those people who had some problem in their life and they actually utilized that problem, converted into the opportunity, and they entered into the world of entrepreneurship. And here now we just compare what makes an entrepreneur different from a typical administrator. Who is a typical administrator? The typical administrator asks, what resources do I control? What structure determines our organization's relationship to its market? How can I minimize the impact of others on my ability to perform? What opportunity is appropriate? You see that what an administrator is thinking, this is the way of thinking of an administrator. Now look at that, how does an entrepreneur thinks? Tends to ask, where is the opportunity? Look at this, administrator starts from the resources. Rather, entrepreneur starts from the opportunity. How do I capitalize on it? He thinks that, how can I have it? What resources do I need? The problem of resources is a third question of the entrepreneur. How do I gain control over them? What structure is best? So this is actually almost the reverse compared to an administrator. Entrepreneurial personality, in the entrepreneurial mode, strategy making is dominated by the active search for new opportunities. Entrepreneurs actually actively pursue the opportunities. And some people rightly argue that this is the opportunity seeking behavior which makes a common man an entrepreneur. In the entrepreneurial organization, power is centralized in the hands of the chief executive. There I would be sharing with you later that entrepreneurial organizations are actually those who are the reflection of their owners. And in entrepreneurial organizations, everything is controlled by the one person. Strategy making in the entrepreneurial mode is characterized by dramatic leaps forward in the face of uncertainty. In entrepreneurial organizations, the strategy comes into being through leaps. And growth is the dominant goal of entrepreneurial organization. Every organization which is entrepreneurial, it is growth oriented. And remember, growth is the point which distinguishes an ordinary organization from an entrepreneurial organization. Hope it is clear to you. Thank you very much.